I was thrust unceremoniously into the world of grief more than a decade ago, following the sudden and unexpected death of my husband. I was heartbroken, and I didn't know how to put one foot in front of the other for the next 10 months. I lost my job as a consequence of it, and I couldn't believe that I was expected to live my life in this much pain. I tried counselling and talking therapies. I'd leaned on my faith. I'd read books. I'd kept busy. Anything that anyone told me, anything that anyone told me, I was prepared to give it a go. But because none of it worked and my heart still felt as though it was being ripped out of my chest, I began to lean on my research. I'd read lots of books, and most of them got thrown to one side. I didn't feel as though the authors were talking from personal experience or were offering me anything practical to do. Until one day I came across the Grief Recovery Handbook, which dared to say, if you follow the steps in this process, you too might feel better. There were so many light bulbs from having read that book. It felt as though someone truly understood my journey. They got me, and that was so important for me. So I read the book in a sitting, and then I found a Julie. I found someone who actually taught the grief recovery method. I went along to my group, and that process for me was transformational. I learned how forgiveness feels. I realised that I needed to forgive my husband for dying. Who'd have guessed? And now, my fond memories don't turn painful. For a long, long time, I couldn't bear to look at his photographs or even think about the things that we shared together. But now all of those things just bring me so much love and joy back in my heart, and I'm so grateful for that. I learnt in the process that grief is cumulative, and it's cumulatively negative. And boy, had I been grieving some other stuff. I realised that I'd been divorced twice. I had 2 under 5s as a single mum before I was 30. My dad had died at 21. My brother-in-law had taken his own life to suicide. I'd emigrated as a teenager. I'd started a new business overseas as an adult. I'd ended up losing my home, my business, and my family. I had 6 friends die to cancer in a year. My gorgeous pet boxer dog died. I'd lost my grandparents. And so the grief went on and on and on. So I've made it my life work to actually process all of that pain and heartache. I now teach a selection of toolkits, both edutherapy and the grief recovery method, that can help us to move beyond the pain of loss so that we don't have to carry that pain with us throughout the rest of our lives.